Hello and hello. Thank you for joining me. How you guys doing? So, Trump, seemingly on a whim, decided to remove 5,000 troops from Germany, which, in my opinion, my initial reaction is that just sounds terrible for everybody. Maybe even especially the United States. I mean, there's a reason why we put troops there to begin with and why we haven't, removed those bases or removed troops. Obviously, it projects America's power globally and, of course, provides, at least in theory, a major part of Europe's defense. In fact, I mean, the only winner long term is really maybe Europe, but also I guess Russia. Russia certainly loves to see this news. Obviously, they're the short term winner. Long term, this is it's obviously bad for the United States. I don't know how it could be seen as good. I mean, the way I view our military bases is it's almost like a soft empire, like the soft United States empire. So, I mean, I guess the American empire collapsing, in a way, like I was saying, that long term could be good for Europe just because it's removes a dependency from Europe. No longer having to depend on the United States, which in good times, like under a good administration, I think that's a good thing that we provide that service to Europe. And at the same time, we project our power, although it does entirely rely on our power being good in the first place, which I mean, I think that's a very complicated question. Anyway, I'm very curious what the Germans have to say about it. So, look at this. German locals react to U.S. troop withdrawal. Perfect. From Global News, link down below. Let's hear what you guys think.
The United States is pulling troops out of Germany amid a dispute between the two nations' leaders. The Pentagon says about 5,000 troops will be withdrawn in the next 6 to 12 months. The announcement comes as Donald Trump exchanged a heated war of words with Chancellor Friedrich Merz over the war in Iran. The American president has been critical of his European allies for their refusal to support Washington, with Trump now threatening to withdraw soldiers from Italy and Spain. The number of troops leaving.
I like how, I'm not saying this lady did it on purpose, but just saying refusing to support Washington. It's more like refusing to join a war on a whim. It's not so much like supporting, I guess that's supporting, I don't know. Supporting Washington just paints it in a little bit of a different way.
Has been critical of his European allies for their refusal to support Washington, with Trump now threatening to withdraw soldiers from Italy and Spain. The number of troops leaving Germany would be 14% of the 36,000 service members stationed there.
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, it's like, at least the majority would remain, but that is a huge amount.
Now, you talked about possibly pulling out some troops out of Germany. Would you be considering the same thing for Spain and Italy? I mean, they haven't been exactly on board.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I probably will. Why should I? Look, why shouldn't I? Italy has not been of any help to us, and Spain has been.
I guess to answer the question of why shouldn't you, it would be to protect Western values, to strengthen our alliances with our most important partners in the world, Europe. I think that puts it pretty simply. Is that even deniable? I think that's why you shouldn't. Doesn't Trump like having military bases all around the world? That's part of what confuses me a little bit. Is as an egomaniac, isn't that the position he wants to be in? To have that much influence over the whole world? So why he thinks retreating from the entire world is good? It's a little ironic.
Horrible. Absolutely horrible. And you would have thought they would have said, we would love to help you. But they didn't, which I think was a verse. And Germany,
oh my God,
he's doing a terrible
I can't even take him serious.
job.
We would love to help you. You're bombing Iran? You didn't tell us beforehand? We'd love to help. We don't even tell us why. In fact, you're not even telling the American people a very straight answer as to why. We don't need to know. Just blindly loyal. We will follow you into war, Trump. We would love to.
He's got immigration problems. He's got energy problems. He's got problems of all kinds. And he's got a big problem with Ukraine because they're in that mess. And he criticized me for doing the whole thing with Iran.
The whole thing. You know he's bullshitting because he never even calls it the Iran war, you know? Like, he always tries to, like, be ambiguous about what it is or not say that.
But I said, would you...
The whole thing with Iran, you know, where we bombed them, including a little girls' school. That whole thing.
The whole thing with Iran. But I said, would you like to have a nuclear weapon in the hands of Iran? He said, no, I don't.
They don't have one. And there was already a mission to destroy their nuclear facilities months before the war. And you said it entirely obliterated their nuclear program.
I said, well, then I guess I'm right. He didn't have any answer to that.
And by the, I mean, if you want to go even further, by the accounts of one of the top intelligence secretaries in all of the United States, who has access to all the United States intelligence, Joe Kent, who just resigned, he says that according to all the United States intelligence, Iran was not actively even pursuing building a bomb, a nuclear bomb. They were obviously enriching uranium, but they weren't actually, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. All I do know is that Trump said he obliterated the program months ago. So, yeah. That doesn't add up. There's a lot of things that don't add up. And also, I no longer know who's telling the truth about anything anymore. So, that's great.
Also auf jeden Fall würde das sehr treffen, weil dieser Umkreis ist sehr abhängig finanziell davon und ich denke...
That's a whole nother aspect of it, you know, like, it's actually really fascinating. I reacted to these little, like, towns, like, that the American troops there, you know, they have their own little teeny America in Germany with big refrigerators and stuff for sale and American snacks. But even beyond that, obviously, they interact with the economy in Germany. So this is, you know, coming at a time where, once again, in large part because of the war in Iran and tariffs, Germany's economy is already on the edge. And now we're just doing yet another thing. Just another thing to potentially tip them into recession. So that's great. So they're going to resent America. How is any of this good for America? I just don't get it. I really don't.
Ich denke, das würde einen großen Schaden hinterlassen.
I don't see how it's good for America or the West.
Finanziell davon und ich denke, das würde einen großen Schaden hinterlassen.
Die Amerikaner waren immer nicht nur Teil der Gesellschaft. Einige haben ja auch wirklich ganz normal unter uns gelebt. Jetzt nicht alle abgeschlossen, sondern sie haben Arbeitsplätze.
Taste of Chicago. Oh, that's cool. Look at that. We got a Chicago deep dish pizza in Germany. And some barbecue. Cool. Shout out to the Taste of Chicago.
Geboten. Sie haben Häuser
That is sad, though.
gemietet, Wohnungen gemietet. Ich weiß von meiner Familie, dass dadurch auch viele Menschen einfach ihr Haus abbezahlen konnten mit Einliegerwohnungen, mit Wohnungen. Und auch wenn es jetzt schon weniger Amerikaner geworden sind, sie bieten immer noch Arbeitsplätze, sie mieten immer noch, sie leisten einen Beitrag dafür, dass es der Region.
I do like to see this type of thing. You know, it just makes me happy. See, this is like the antithesis of it, you know, just all of Trump's rhetoric and actions, like, and then compared to this, you know, we have a sign, "Willkommen" and "Welcome," you know, in the German and the American flag. I just think that's cool. I think it's cool. It's what I like to see. I like to see, you know. I thought we were friends. In my opinion, we are. Important, and it's very important, to say the least. You know, it's not some... It's like we've kind of lost our way as to what we're even doing in this world, you know? Like, it's a very important thing, you know? Freedom, democracy. We're all supposed to kind of be in it together. Free elections. You know, this is the West. You know, rule of law. You know, equal justice. That's why we're friends. Anyway.
So gut geht, wie es ihr geht. Es könnte immer noch besser gehen, das ist klar, aber das ist ein anderes Thema.
Ja, ich denke ja. Also es ist Kaufkraftverlust natürlich. Es ist, hat allerdings auch Vorteile. Das heißt, also das.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, like, it's interesting how things can go both ways, you know, especially for the housing situation. Like, Americans, on one hand, it's good for landlords and real estate, you know, that you have this demand from Americans. On the other hand, of course, they are taking up housing that could otherwise be going to Germans, and therefore, you know, with a little bit less demand. Obviously, 5,000 people isn't exactly going to impact the real estate market much. Maybe in this tiny region where they're at, it will. But, you know, it's causing a little bit less demand, so it can loosen up the market a little bit. Maybe lower the price of rent, 50 cents.
Es könnte sein, dass es mit dem Wohnraum etwas weniger streng wird in der Gegend. Aber ja.
But I mean, that's just like, it's interesting. These people are mostly concerned about like the economic side of it, which I feel like obviously that's a real thing, but it's like not really the most important aspect of it. It's like, this is indicative of just a decline of the West and the power, the unified West and its power. So like, a little scary. Little scary.
Alles hat immer seine Zeit.
But I guess they went to the actual locations and interviewed people who are going to be most impacted directly by the financial aspect of it. So that is interesting.
Seiten oder noch mehr.
Ich denke, das ist schlecht für die Region, ja. Weil viele Amerikaner, die lassen ja auch viel Geld hier. Und ja, ich denke, das wäre schlecht, ja.
No more free lunches. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.